Okay, congratulations. Another year for Neopets, 24 years. Happy birthday to Neopets.
No, thank you very much. No, sorry, should I call you Gig?
Yes, you could go ahead and call me Gig. Yes. Yeah, the birthday thing was what? Yesterday, and you had a AMA. How did that go for you, for yourself?
Oh, no, it's actually the actual birthday is between. So it was a bit choppy.
Yeah, I could hear you. Can you hear me?
Wait, let me. Is this working?
Yeah, it's working.
Oh, okay, I think there's something wrong with my. So, but it's fine. Yeah, I think my.
Your audio is
Hello,
out.
hello.
Hello?
Okay, yeah. It's like jumping around. Sorry about that.
Sure. I Dominic, I was asking how did your AMA actually go yesterday for the birthday for Neopets?
So it went very well. So it was this morning for myself. I'm based in Hong Kong. It's great to be able to celebrate kind of like the birthday with the broader community, and we've invited a bunch of special guests to join us with our celebration. So it's like a different kind of like a format than we normally do. Basically, we invited one of our OG Neopets artists, original artist that has been with the creation of Neopets since the very beginning, and then he's now a kind of like a creative director advisor for us. So he's been Anthony Clowney has been helping us a lot on kind of like different art kind of like direction guidance and all, like also launching or licensing and merchandise kind of like designs, and also our 25th anniversary logo. And another guest is actually from one of our biggest fan site, Jelly Neo. So one of the team members from that site. His name is Zach, and he's been like super helpful and giving us a lot of guidance on kind of like the Battle Dome related, and kind of like a lot more feedback from the community as well. And the last guest is actually our customer service support team member. That's been highly, because she's been with the company for over 21 years, and since the kind of like the OG era of Neopets as well. And so a lot of our players have had contact with her through the customer service over the years. And it's great for the community to be able to hear from her for the first time. So it's great. It's been a very fun episode, and we had a lot of fun and celebrating and kind of like showcasing our roadmap and kind of the momentum that we've been building. And it's great that we're embarking on this journey together with the whole community.
Most excellent. So tell us why you think Neopets has been so successful and so popular with the generations.
So I would say it was once very popular. I mean, for the past 10 years, it has been a decaying IP. It has been mismanaged. But what kept it very special is basically the community that has stuck around. And I would say what's unique to Neopets that made it like so attractive to this core community. I would say at the beginning of its days, Neopets is actually at the forefront of the gaming industry evolution. We're one of the first kind of like internet browser-based games. That's like a social game. That's also like a mini MMORPG as its earliest stage. And it's kind of like a social media in itself that connected all the kids around the globe through a game environment setting. So a generation of users has been inspired through Neopets to learn about coding so that they can customize their shop front and customize their user lookup. And then a generation of users has also been inspired to become artists, game designer because of the gameplay in Neopets. And we're also probably one of the first games to have an in-game stock market. So people learn about kind of like the buy low, sell high, the trading mechanism. and also how to invest their money in either the stock market or with the bank in the game. So it's interesting that we've been hearing a lot of these like people from different industries said that they grew up playing Neopets and inspired them to kind of like take a profession ultimately that's kind of relevant as a byproduct of Neopets. So it's been quite exciting, and I think that's what kept. That's one of the main unique differentiation about Neopets. It's something that sticks around, and it's something that transcends into your daily life and kind of like kept the community together instead of just being a game just for pure entertainment value. So it's a lot more breadth and depth of it that really kept the community kind of like glued together inside and outside of the game.
So since your arrival this past summer, it sounds like this is not a honeymoon period for you. You immediately jump in and you want to do a lot more special things in the next year for Neopets.
Yeah, I mean, there's no time for honeymoon. We're definitely back in kind of like startup mode, building a lot of stuff, but also it's kind of like I would say it's more like a turnaround strategy that we're going after. So there's a lot of things that we need to fix. The foundations are crumbling, and on top of that, we do see the need of building new things and new features so that we can attract new users and a lot of our lapsed users to come back. We just kind of like so it's kind of like we need to build while we fix the foundation type of analogy, I would say.
So is the plan is to introduce sort of like an expansion into the game, or basically just changes and tweaks for the game right now?
So I would say it's a three pillar strategy that we're going after. In the short term focus would be the first pillar that we're calling fixing the site. So fixing the site we really mean is the original classic neopets.com classic game. So a lot of the in-game mechanics, there are bugs, the infrastructures are outdated. So just updating those, upgrading the features, and also kind of like making it a much more enjoyable gaming environment. That's comparable to like maybe like 5 6 years ago because there has been like discontinuation of Flash and then a lot more bugs that our codes haven't been kind of like kept up to date. But of course, to make gameplay interesting, we are introducing new plots, we are introducing new game features that we think could help returning users to really get back into the game and rediscover Neopets. But that would be for users who played Neopets in the past, for users who always enjoyed Neopets but have graduated. So that's kind of what the first pillar strategy is about. The second pillar is actually mainly to expand IP beyond kind of like the assisting gamer base, but also to kind of like the 150 million users that played Neopets in the past 25 years. Some might played for a year or two, some might have played for decades, but I think expanding the IP to become like entertainment IP, there's like mainly kind of like through licensing and merchandise, through a lot of brand collaboration to really get our Neopets IP back into people's mind and expand our business and revive the IP as a whole. And the third pillar would be a more longer term strategy where we are building new game experiences. And these new game experiences, we are planning to target to attract a lot of the long lost kind of like fans or lapsed users, and also being able to be a fun and independent game that's actually attractive to newer generation of users or users who've never played Neopets. So I think that would be kind of like the three pillar strategy that we're going after.
Most excellent. And upcoming in the first quarter of next year, I understand that you're introducing a feature called what Island Builders. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so Island Builder is actually one of the third pillars. It's actually a side, I would say, is like a side game that we've developed in the past. We actually first launched it, I think, 2 3 years ago. We collected a lot of data, collected like a lot of feedback, and then we actually put it back to the drawing board, improved the gameplay, fine-tuned a lot of the game design, game mechanics, and then we're actually now going through the final beta test stage. And we are looking to launch first quarter next year to basically relaunching the whole game altogether. But it's still kind of like a side game to the core kind of like Neopets game, and then it's more like a town building game, and it will be mobile app. So it is for us to test the water to see how we can introduce a more mobile first experience and whether we could use that to target new users and attract users that might not want to come back to the original game, or even if they come back just for nostalgia, they might not stick around. But we want to have some modernized gameplay, and that's up to kind of like the current standard in 2023 that would be fun and entertaining on its own. But on top of that, we have the Neopets IP that gives them a additional nostalgic kind of experience.
So in the meantime, what is the short-term goals for Neopets? Is to gain new users or to bring the old users back?
The short term would be closer to the first pillar strategy, which is more about bringing our kind of like old users back. And even for the old users, because we've been around for close to 25 years, I would say targeting the people who left us and within the past 5 years would be the more immediate target. Most of them left because of kind of like there's lack of update, there's lack of excitement, and there's lack of kind of like improvement to the site, and actually not even improvement. There has been like kind of like a decaying site with more and more bugs and become less playable. So once we fix the site, I think that would be the users that we can hopefully get back relatively easiest.
You also mentioned that you're expanding the IP outside of the game into other products out there so that we could actually get more familiarized, especially for those people who are big fans of Neopets. Can you talk about the other products our world, right? In the real world.
Yeah, so yeah, that's exactly the point. We want to like let people who enjoyed Neopets to enjoy Neopets in different settings, and like a lot of our lapse users might have graduated that they don't play games anymore. They might just play like some like other, or they might have graduated and play other game genres. So like, but they still have fond childhood memories or a lot of like emotional attachment to this IP. So some of the products we're launching next year includes a 25th kind of like limited edition, anniversary edition Monopoly board game. We're also launching a brand new physical trading card game with Upper Deck. So these are kind of like experiences that we're bringing to kind of our users, where they can experience more like tabletop games, also like collecting these trading card games, like trading cards in the real world. On top of that, we're also launching a new plush line. So we also have signed up a lot of like new licensees that would help us distribute things that are ranging from like mugs to t-shirts to like squish pillows. So a lot of exciting things are definitely coming up on the horizon. And then I'll say we've started signing these new licensees in the past few months, and it takes time for the products to hit the retail shelves. But we are having a year long of the 25th anniversary celebration starting from today. So I'm excited that we'll be bringing a lot of new products to the market in the coming year.
I also understand that you're promoting Neopets on the road also with activations and appearances at certain conventions. I want to say you folks were at the San Diego Comic-Con just recently too.
Yeah, we're actually at a lot of cons this year. It's been proven very effective in communicating our kind of like new strategy, communicating our new roadmap, and also to reconnect with a lot of our old users and old fans who might have thought Neopets has died, or they did, but it doesn't take much to remind them of this great game that they probably played when they're a kid. So these cons is actually a quite an effective way for us to learn from the community as well, to get feedback on why they left, what do they still play, what do they want to see with Neopets coming back, what do they remember of us. So these are great kind of like first-hand feedback that we're getting. To be honest, we haven't done that great of a job in collecting feedback and collecting data in general of our users, of like their preferences or what they want in the past few years. So we like these cons are also kind of like a direct way for us to get a much better pulse check of our community.
What have you learned so far since you came on board to Neopets?
It's actually a lot of things. Anything ranging from what they care most about, why do they still play, why they have stuck around, or why they have left. So all these are kind of like a lot of like firsthand sentiment, kind of like collection, but also giving us like a lot of feedback on, oh, why, what, like they actually give us like feedback on how we can improve the game. For example, oh, like there's feedback on, oh, how we can improve inflation, like tackle the inflation problem in the game economy, or they have like quick suggestions on some of the bugs that they're seeing, and they help report it, or even kind of like connecting us to the like potential partners that they think would benefit from like a brand collaboration perspective. I'm actually very astonished by the collective knowledge and power of our community. They've been very helpful and kind of like giving us the best guidance that we can ever ask for. And the power of the community also is what's very unique to to this IP and to any gaming IPs in general, that we can have a great testing board regardless of what we want to push out. There's always a good sounding board for us to rely on. And actually building on this, I think one of the programs that came out of these connections is actually a community ambassador program. So some of these cons inspired our thinking about launching something like a community ambassador program. And so we actually just had we're having our second meeting next week. But since the launch of this program, we received over 1,000 applications from our community members who wanted to be our like voluntary ambassadors. And then like we've handpicked 10 members to join the first batch of this alpha program, and representing kind of like of all walks, of all journeys of our community, like people who are very kind of like experienced in certain elements or certain parts of the game, people who are very experienced in game design. Some are more like economists coming from like a game economy balancing angle. So it's great that we've been getting all these help, but also forming kind of like a much tighter knit kind of a community. The community has always been around, but I think it's now stronger than ever and a lot more united. And we all have like a common goal that we just want to kind of like embark on this Neopets Renaissance together.
Most excellent. It sounds like the community of Neopets is still going very, very strong after all these years.
Yeah, I mean, in just 4 months' time, we're actually all our metrics are trending very healthily. We're back at our like I think back our 8-year peak in terms of like MAUs, user engagement, site visit. We're currently a top 15 video gaming website in the US. So yeah, great traction, great momentum.
Most excellent. And one last thing, Dominic. How long have you been playing Neopets, or or how were you introduced into this world?
Yeah, so I started playing when I was 12 years old. So it's quite a big part of my childhood memory. Because when I first moved back to Hong Kong from Canada, I actually lost touch with a lot of my childhood friends. I moved back when I was 9 years old, and then I lost touch with them because back then it's hard to connect. There's no Facebook. There's like you only have a landline number, and like IDD is like super expensive. But when I went back to visit one summer, and that's when I think the year, like it's like the year of 2000, to visit Toronto, and then my friends introduced me to this game called Neopets, and then I started playing, and I got immediately addicted, and then actually that was the game that kept us together, and I reconnected with a lot of my childhood friends in Canada. And I played for a few good years. I think I stopped around 2007 or 2008. Well, being kind of like the Asian side of me, my parents kind of forced me to play less and focus on studies when it comes to like public exams. So unfortunately, I graduated from that and I stopped playing. But I would say because of my encounter, and I actually played Neopets a lot sooner than most of my friends in Hong Kong. So Neopets, I think in Hong Kong was the most popular during the 2006 to 2008 period. So I started playing way earlier, so I know the in and out of Neopets at that time, compared to a lot of my peers. So it did kind of like made me kind of like the cool kid in town. So it was a fun moment. But after that, I haven't touched it. I haven't played it since since I graduated from it. But it's great that like 3 years ago when I joined this company called NetDragon, I kind of knew that when I was like during the interview process and job hunting period, I saw that, oh, really? They actually acquired the Neopets IP. and it's that what's one of the reasons what sparked my interest to engage on like a like follow up conversation with the team and try to find a role that fits me. So yeah, one thing led to another, and now I'm here, kind of like hopefully leading on this Neopets Renaissance journey and rebuild Neopets back to its glory days.
Wow, that is a terrific story, Dominic. I really appreciate you telling that because it seems like it's a dream that your life came to full circle into something that you were introduced in your childhood.
Yeah, it's kind of like a childhood dream come true that I can be working on this, and like not that many people could say that like I'm kind of like being able to work on something that I played myself and potentially could reintroduce to generations to come. That it's a very exciting kind of journey that I'm on now.
Most excellent. Well, Dominic, hey, I've taken a lot of your time already. Thank you very much for carrying this conversation about your vision and the new journey for Neopets for the 24th and the 25th anniversary of Neopets. I can't wait to check it out both virtually and in reality, both at the same time. Thank you very much.
Awesome. No, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. It was a great pleasure.